This is trigonometric techniques for integration, and it is something that I want you to be responsible for. It's a lot of experimenting like your lab. It'd be great to do a whole lab on this. You could do a sine to the first, sine to the second, sine to the third, and combinations of sine and cosine. But essentially what you're going to do is like something like A. You're going to integrate cosine to the third sine x. Let's bring back our good friend u sub. What are you going to let u equal to? Probably. Do you want it to be sine or cosine? I think you're right, because if u is the cosine of x, du is going to be what? Negative sine x dx. You have the variable is this sine x dx, but you do need a little negative sign in there, so we pull out a negative. And so now you have negative u to the what power? Third du. So now you can just go negative u to the fourth over 4 plus c. And that's cosine x. That's it. Done. That isn't too bad. Did we do b already? Cosine x over sine x? Do you want to see that one? Let's do that one. Right below here, cosine x over sine of x. All right. We're going to let u either equal to cosine or sine. Which one do you want to let u equal to? Yeah, the bottom, because the derivative is up in the top. If you take derivative of the top, you don't get the fraction. So this is going to be cosine x dx. And it just so happens that all of that is here. This is du over u. So what's the antiderivative of du over u? Natural log of u. And we said sine, right? And this, by the way, is the antiderivative of cotangent. This goes pretty well, u sub, all u sub. But sometimes it gets a little trickier. And then enter sine cubed. Now sine cubed, if we did sine cubed, I don't have a cosine, so we can't just say sine to the fourth over 4. It won't work. We need the derivative of the inside. So what you could do is you could split this into sine squared x times sine of x dx. Anybody know why I did that? Any idea? Sophia, any idea? This, I would really like to have a cosine-sine combination. The sine squared is 1 minus cosine squared dx. And then if I multiply this out, I'm going to have two integrals, sine x dx and cosine squared x sine x dx. And what's the antiderivative of sine of x? Negative cosine of x. And if u is cosine, the derivative of cosine is sine, negative sine. I can change this to, this is still the same. I've got this to drop out, du. So what's the antiderivative of u squared du? What's that? U cubed over 3 plus c. That's cosine x for u. I let u be equal to cosine x, just as before du is negative sine x. What do you think? They get pretty interesting. And these are great. I wish I had a little more time for you to practice. We might get a little time for those tomorrow. Would you go down to the assignment, for tomorrow, your assignment is going to be shortened to 1 CBC, 7A, and all of these in 9 down to here. If you could get through those first 3 slides, we'd be doing great. And let's take a look real quickly at B. Would you look at B? I'm going to get you started on B. Sine to the 4th x, cosine cubed x. Any ideas on what you want to break up? Sine squared times sine squared? You could. I wouldn't though. I wouldn't. Good idea though. Yeah, let's split that cosine cubed, because all I want is a cosine x all by itself. How many cosines will I have left? If I take 1 out, 2. And then what is cosine squared equal to? Yep, and now I'm going to have all sines and 1 cosine. That 1 cosine is the du that's going to drop out. So then this will just be sine to the 4th x cosine x dx. And I'm going to do is break it up. Minus sine to the 4th, sine to the 2nd. That's sine to the how many? 4th, 2nd, 4, 5. Is it 6th? Times cosine x dx. Now could you do these using u sub easily? Yeah. So what you want to do is to get sine x or cosine x by itself. And then the pair will be cosine to some kind of a power, and then sine x to some kind of b power, and then you can integrate those. Got to get them into that form. So if u is sine x, what's du? Cosine x dx. Do we have it? Do you need to do a negative or anything? Nope. So then you can do u sub with this one. Here we're going to let u equal to which one? Sine x. And so what's du going to be? Cosine x. Thanks. Thank you. Right? And then you could do that u sub. See if you can finish that one off before the bell rings.